In this video, we're making a personalized Father's Day t-shirt design, which is perfect, especially if you have a print on demand or an Etsy shop or something like that. And I'm going to show you a neat little hack, a neat feature that we just updated in Kittl right at the beginning. And hey, if you don't have Kittl yet, go ahead and sign up using the link below, and you can even follow along with this tutorial. So go ahead and sign up and let's get started. All right, before we get started, I wanted to show you a new feature we have. So if I just type in retro up in the fonts, it's going to show me fonts that are in this style. For example, I can type in Y2K, and we just recently did this so that you can find fonts in the style you want faster. So now I've typed in grunge, and now I'm seeing all of the grunge type fonts, and I can even filter them through serif, sans serif, script, things like that. But for this specific t-shirt design for the Father's Day shirt, I'm going to go with a grunge style one, and I want to find one that is a little bit thick and condensed for this specific shirt, because I'm going to type in dad right here. So I'm going to use this one, this kind of insect named font here, which I think is really cool and grungy. It's also condensed but still kind of weighted enough that I think it's going to read really nicely. And then I'm going to put awesome above, and I'm going to put checklist. So we're going to build an awesome dad checklist, but these top two words I think are a little bit too thick. They're a little bit too long, so they're taking up some space. So I'm going to type in grunge up here in the fonts again, but I want to find a little bit more of a regular X height, if you will. So it's a little bit easier to navigate space here. So this one is cool. It's called Radio Newsman. It's like a typewriter style, like what you would see if you used an old typewriter or something. And I really like how it's kind of still bleeding in that grunge style. So now you can see that just by changing the font, I have a lot more space down here on the bottom, especially if I grab all three of these and move them up. When I use the same font each time, that condensed long font, it's taking up a little bit too much space. Now I have more space to work with down here on the bottom. And so to build the checklist, what I'm going to use is a vector brush mark. I'm going to use a series of vector brush marks here to make this checklist that you might see in a notepad or a notebook or a memo pad, or maybe a reminder list on your refrigerator or something that has little check marks next to it on the left. So to build these and keep it in the grunge style, I'm using a variety of these brush marks. I don't want to just use the same ones over and over again all the way down, because then the design will look a little bit repetitive. So as you can see here, I'm speeding up through just adding a bunch of different brush strokes to create my three checklist areas. Okay, and what we're going to do is put a little check mark here, and to do that, I'm just going to combine a circle with a check mark. So to build my check mark, I'm just using the basic circle shape that you can find over in the basic shapes in the elements panel. And so once we feel like that's in a place that is going to work, I think obviously over on the left is probably best. We're going to look for a check. You can type in check or check mark. This one's fine because I'm going to just make them the same color. So it does have this kind of squiggly, inset design in it, but I'm just making it the same color all the way through. So it's just one solid color. And so now you can see this little checkbox is marked. So it's essentially the dad is all of these things we're about to say. Okay, and then I'm going to use AI to make little icons over on the right side. Okay, so we're going to go with the first one and definitely keep it in this kind of grungy style. So we have this preset for the vector illustrations in the Kittl AI called street art. Okay, so now it's going to give me a vector illustration that's still in the grungy style, and for this one we're going to do a whisk, because this is the first one's going to be baking dude. That's the first one on our awesome dad checklist, and it may take you a couple of tries to get something that you want, but I think this is definitely a grungy looking whisk, and I think it's perfect because it really goes with the second font we've used, the typewriter style font, how it's kind of bleeding out, kind of like a bitmap looking bleed effect. I think that's really cool. Hey, if you're enjoying this personalized Father's Day shirt tutorial, let me know by hitting the thumbs up button, and then let me know in the comments, Do you plan to sell personalized Father's Day shirts, or were you looking for how to make a personalized gift for your own father or something like that? I'm super curious to know who's coming to make things more as a hobby or who's actually using it for print on demand. So let me know down in the comments, and let's get back to the tutorial. And so now what we need to do is duplicate our main font here, and we're going to go ahead and put on our text for this one. So this is going to be Baking Dude. So it's pretty easy to do. You can duplicate by hitting the Alt or Option key and dragging. That's how you can duplicate, or you can just hit Command C and Command V to duplicate anything, elements, text, whatever you need to do. Then I'm going to make sure that that's sized down, and that's going to go right here in the first one, the blue marking checklist. That's going to be Baking Dude. And so it may take you a little bit of tweaking to make sure all of your space is consistent. And we may actually size down these check marks later. They're a little bit big, and maybe the icon here is a little bit big, but we want to make sure that they're all legible enough when we go to put this on a t-shirt. But let's move on for right now. For the second one, we're going to do a barbell, because the second one is going to be fitness freak. So this dad is a baking dude, but also a fitness freak. So a barbell was an idea, and this one's okay. I think we could probably keep playing with it to try to get another one. I had already actually tried some iterations before, but this one gets the point across. It's still dingy, it's grungy, it fits. I think it gets the point across when you see fitness freak right there, some kind of weight training. So I think that's fine. And again, if you need more space and stuff is not really working, maybe your text is a little too long, you can just play with the size. Just make it a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit shorter. You could change your phrase up, whatever it is. This is kind of a checklist that you would either put in your notes app on your phone, or maybe you even wrote it down and put it on your fridge or something. So it doesn't have to be like completely perfect size all the way down. For the last one, we're going to do Master Angler. So this dad likes to fish. And again, I think we do need to make those checks smaller, but for right now, let's go ahead and see what we come up with for a fish. Again, using Kittl AI in the street art style, and that looks really cool. That is going to work perfectly. First try on that one. And again, all of those are vectors, so you could change the colors if you want to, and to make them any other color you want to match the background. Maybe you want to not put it on a white shirt, maybe you want to put it on a blue shirt or whatever. So now I'm just going to tweak through these and make sure that there's space for everything, and everything is in its place in terms of like how you can read the text and where the icon is and where the check is. But I'm going to invert this so that it's on a black shirt. I think this would look really cool on a black shirt. So now I'm going to change my text up here to white. Again, you could go with any of these colors and they'd probably look pretty good. I think white is the clearest. So we have Awesome Dad Checklist, Baking Dude, Fitness Freak, Master Angler, and of course we need to add some texture to tie this all together. And what we can do is go over here and turn on the alpha mask, and then we can clip it to the content, and the alpha mask is basically knocking out that texture from our design. So you can go through a variety of different textures, but this is a really cool way that you can make your own personalized or custom dad shirt, which is really cool, especially if you have a Etsy shop or some other print-on-demand shop or something like that. You can really get personalized with this shirt. So here's the completed design. You can see a little bit better, a little bit easier to see, and I hope you have a ton of fun making your own personalized Father's Day shirts. Now, if you want to see other tutorials using Kittl, I have these videos here on my right that I know you're going to enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any upcoming videos and features and things like that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.